Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. A little bit more Pillage coverage today. We want to take a look at weather in the game because it's one of the neat set of rules here that really adds a lot of flavor and really can expand the options on just how much the game can offer. So we've gotten several scenarios, the ones from the core book here, the Winding Way scenario. So we have quite a few things to choose from. Obviously, you have different armies playing in the different battles, so you have all that stuff going for you as well, and how people choose to build their armies. But then weather really can be thrown in on any of the scenarios. I know a lot of them kind of come already saying that, hey, it's clear skies or this or that. But really, you know, with all the different weather options here, we have essentially 6 more variables that we can throw in to really mix things up a little bit and really, in some cases, change the complete layout and strategy that needs to be there for the game and that particular scenario, and really will change your approach as well. So we'll kind of go here real quick. It's not meant to be an overly long video. Now, clear skies obviously is pretty basic, right? Your typical game, no real special rules whatsoever. Most scenarios will kind of gravitate towards that. But let's start jumping in, and this, as we said, you know, really will also change like how your army can perform because a lot of these will affect visibility and ranged weapons and such. But first one is fog. So the fog is dense and lowers visibility. Movement is more cautious and therefore slower. So all figures, infantry and cavalry, suffer -2 movement penalty everywhere except on roads, where movement ranges remain unchanged. So now, not every scenario is going to have roads, or at least, you know, or multiple roads or anything like that. It might just be that one road, which then, you know, if you're wanting to stick to the road to get that movement still, you know, you're going to be a little bit more one-dimensional in your approach to the scenario. Might not really be an effective strategy for a given scenario as well, if, you know, a lot of the action dictates that you need to go elsewhere, do different things across the board as opposed to just sticking on the road. But nonetheless, you still have that option. Morale checks are failed on a roll of 1 or 2 rather than just a 1 as well, just because of the uncertainty, right, of the fog, right? You can't really see as well. Things might look worse than they actually are, so really lowering everybody's morale. And then also here, pretty brutal. Bows and crossbows have their range. So even, you know, when you're elevated and stuff like that, to get that extra range, right, we're having range here. So gonna really make it a much more close and upfront battle. So now other ranged weapons, though, apparently like slings and javelins, do remain unaffected. But keep that in mind. So that will drastically change how things go. Now, strong winds is another fun one here. So basically here, just staying on your feet can be a chore in and of itself. So max movement, regardless of where we're at on the battlefield, roads or not, max movement for infantry is 7 and 10 for cavalry. All movement bonuses are just outright canceled. So again, doesn't matter if you're on a road or whatnot, no bonuses. Shooting is another -1, right? Obviously the strong winds, and this is affecting everything, unlike just the bows and crossbows above. All shooting at a -1 penalty. And then the interesting side effect, because there are some scenarios where this matters, and right, being able to start fires, but here, fires spread to adjoining elements on a 4-up instead of only a 6. So pretty nasty here. So if you can get some fire started, you have a really good chance, or a much improved chance, of having that spread all over the place for you. Now, another fun one here, heavy rain, again, really can make things kind of just nasty overall. So areas that are fields, plowed or not, all are difficult. So really going to affect movement. Crossing at a ford requires a swimming test, regardless of you know, whether it's considered to be a deep river or really how wide it is. Just, you know, if there is a ford somewhere, going to require that swimming test, which could have some disastrous consequences as well. Shooting, as with some of the other ones here, -1 penalty across the board. Doesn't matter what type of ranged weapon it is. Roads, no bonuses there. It's just nasty, crappy weather. But here, unlike the strong winds where we really get a bonus to having fires spread, here it's actually, with all the rain, it's just going to be hard to actually get fires going. So fires getting a -2 penalty here. And again, combining that on some of the scenarios where like it is actually important and part of the mission to start fires, really will add that tension. As you know, people start dying, your forces get diminished, and really, you know, time crunch and turn crunch and everything like that with the game progressing, and it's like, hey, we got to get these fires started. So that really, again, will add to some tension here, making it difficult to start. Snow is another fun one. So here, the whole board becomes difficult terrain, so just all the way across the board. Areas that are already difficult don't get any worse, but just the entire board is difficult, right? And also, as with above, with the wetness of the snow and everything, fires are at a -2 penalty. Now, interestingly, no range effects here, so it's just, again, difficult to move and harder to start fires, but missile weapons remain normal. And then nighttime. So the range of all ranged weapons, all of them, not just bows and crossbows, but all are halved, unless the target is near a fire, though. All figures have their total charge range as well, because again, you're not going to just go blindly charging off at something in the night, whether you think something's there or not, but also your uncertainty of like what is really out there in front of you. So you don't want to fail charge and just charge into nothingness, but also you could run into bad terrain or a tree or who knows what. So yeah, so some pretty big penalties there. Now again, doesn't apply if your target is near a fire. So in other words, within the 3 inches of a torch. So other characters out there that are maybe carrying torches, they kind of become a beacon, obviously, for, they're illuminated at night, or 6 inches of a blaze, like a burning building. So just, worth clarifying at the start of every game, this is that, as far as those things go. But obviously getting some fires started at night on like buildings, even if it's not necessarily part of the scenario, but just to start something burning, can help illuminate enemies and really maybe force them to take in a different approach towards coming at you, or areas that they defend, because they're going to be illuminated. You start plinking away at them from the dark, they won't get that bonus because you're still kind of hidden by the darkness. So just a lot of little interesting strategic variables with that. Now, a fun one that you could do is, if you really want to just be particularly nasty, maybe for some like custom games or one-off games, try combining some things, right? Maybe snow and night, so nighttime and winter. Maybe it's heavy rain and also at night, or the fog at night, or strong winds and snow as well. Right? You can have different combinations as long as they make sense for you, but that can also just add, again, a lot more difficulty in slogging it out in miserable conditions. So let us know, guys, in any games that you've played so far, which of the weather conditions have you enjoyed and has made the game more memorable, or has it just been a little bit more arduous? Have you actually tried combining any of the weather effects just to see what the game plays out like? Let us know in the comments, and we'll be back with more Pillage very soon. Thanks for watching.